Okay, in this part 2 video, we're going to do the underside of our Lego brick. So underneath should be a hollow. I'm going to just kind of show you. This is a 2x4 brick, so smaller than what we're working on, but underneath, right, we hollow out our brick and we put some cylinders along the center, which allow us to connect to other Lego bricks. It doesn't actually connect on the cylinders, but the studs on top sort of fit around the cylinder when you're putting them together. So that's what we're going to kind of finish up today. So first up, I'm actually going to go ahead and group this first part that we did. So I'm going to grab this group selection and let's just run that and make sure that that groups nicely for us. All right, there we go. So that's now grouped as one piece. And then you can see our brick is still solid. So let's go ahead and cut out the opening in our brick here. So I'm going to drag over a rectangle. And I'm going to label this with my comment block here so we remember what we're doing. So this is hollow out inside of the brick is what we're working on right now. I'll zoom in a bit on those blocks for you. Okay. And then we're going to change the dimensions on this. So this is going to be a cutout. We're going to do that. And then this is going to be slightly smaller than the rectangle base. So our width is going to be 12.9. Okay. Our length is going to be 28.9. And our height is going to be 8.6. And then just like when we started, that's kind of right now centered on the work plane, but kind of through the work plane. So it's a little bit on top, a little bit on bottom. So what we want to do is move that up with a move block by half of our height because it's right now cut exactly in half. So our height is going to be 8.6 and we're going to move that up then by half. So up the z-axis by 4.3. Okay, so let's run that again. I'm going to speed this up a little bit here when I run it and turn my screen. And there you can see our transparent brick inside. Now it won't cut until we group it. So let's group selection and run that again. And there we go. Now it's like cut out that bottom part of our rectangle. Okay. So now we need to do so again, I don't have my 2x4 near me, but I have a 2x2 near me. And now we need to put the cylinders underneath. And there are 3 cylinders that are underneath our brick usually. So I'm going to do another section here, and this is going to be for the cylinders inside brick. We'll call this the connecting, I don't know, connector cylinders. They probably have a name, I don't know. Okay, now kind of similar to what we did on top with the studs, we're going to create a cylinder, except this time these are hollowed out, right? So we need to hollow them out, and then we're going to repeat that action 3 times. So let's start with a cylinder shape. Okay. And then the dimensions for that, when we look up the dimensions of a Lego brick online, are going to be 3.25, radius of 3.25, a height of 8.6, and then just to kind of smooth out the round edges, I'm going to set sides to 100. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and add our other cylinder here to hollow that out. Actually, before we do that, let's just test what we did here. Okay, there we go. So you can see that that's inside there. So let's add our cutout cylinder, and it's going to be slightly smaller than that first cylinder there. So it's going to be a radius of 2.4 millimeters and same height, 8.6. Okay. And an edge of 100. Oops, whoa, is enough. We'll run that again. Okay, and it's in there. Let's see. But we're not going to see it quite yet. It's at exactly the same location as this one and this one. is sitting too low, right? It's like halfway through the work plane again, there's a gap here. If you kind of adjust to see the gap between your cylinder and your rectangle. So we need to move our orange cylinder up so that it touches the inside of the rectangle. So we're going to move it up with a move block here. There we go. All right. All right. Now, when we created our rectangle, right, we had it a height of 9.8 and it was like halfway through the work plane. So we moved it up by half, 4.9. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move this up to 8. Or excuse me, we're going to move this up the z-axis first, the same way that we did our rectangles. So half of the height, right, we'll move it up so that it's not halfway through the work plane. So half of the height is 4.3. Let's try that. Okay, there we go. Whoops. Something happened with my edge here. Oh, I accidentally changed the edges. No wonder. So it's pointy. Sides of 100 on that cutout. There we go. Let's fix that again. There we go. So now you can see the cylinder that's going to be our cutout, and it's still down kind of low. We're also going to have to move that up. And we're going to move it up the same distance on that z-axis. Remember, z is going like up and down into the sky. So let's run that again. There we go. All right, now that's kind of ready for a cutout. Okay, but what we're going to do, let me zoom out a little, is similar to what we did with the studs. We're going to start with this shape, kind of slid up along the y-axis. That's our flat along the work plane, up and down, flat along the work plane. So we're going to slide it up 8 points. Okay, and the way we're going to do that is very much like we did the studs. So we're going to use our variable. So we're going to start by setting y to 8 and have that first cylinder slide up 8 points. And then how many of these do we need inside? We need 3. So we're going to use a repeat block to do this 3 times. Okay. And then again, just like we did the studs, we're going to say, all right, start our location at y of 8. Okay. And we're going to have to do that for our cutout as well. Start at y of 8 and then make the next one down by 8. And then make the third one down by another 8. So we're going to say minus 8 each time. So let's see. There's 1, 2, 3. There we go. And then the last step's going to be we have to group them to make the cutout. So we go back to our purple modify menu and we have to group everything at the end. And there we are. So that is the finished product.